over to more investor education on real estate investment trust is needed if Kenyans are to embrace the capital raising model for financing construction of housing units to bridge a supply deficit. MMC Africa Head of Commercial Property Department Esther Omulele says in the midst of a slowdown in loans from the financial sector, pulling off investments under the REITs is among ways to reduce the cost of housing on a long-term basis. Here is Omulele with our details.
In Kenya, the housing deficit is pegged at 250,000 units annually as rapid urbanization creates demand, with political class seemingly imprecise about a long-term solution. Nonetheless, the real estate sector continues to attract billions of shillings in local and foreign investments, driven by high returns averaging 25% compared to a 14% average in other asset classes over a 5-year period.
Despite the fact that it's been quiet, for those developers who've taken their time to do the planning now, to acquire the properties now and plan and just be ready to roll out maybe post-elections, those will be very well placed after the elections.
In the wake of slow credit from banks as a result of interest rate cap, Omulele says Kenya's best bet in meeting the housing shortage is in the real estate investment trust introduced 4 years ago.
Now, since the funding is from investors, the REIT holders, what my view is that funding is cheaper than perhaps what you would find as a cost of borrowing from a financial institution. And if that funding is then cheaper, the cost of construction is then lower, and that benefit can be passed on to the end product, the homeowner. Yeah.
Only Stanlib has so far managed to float an income rate which sought to raise 12.3 billion shillings from investors in 2015 but managed 3.5 billion shillings. And while low awareness plagues the investment vehicle, Omulele advises promoters to diversify products to entice investors.
If you have industrial housing, for example, an industrial park, for example, the rentals that come in there will be higher than what you can get from the residential. Or maybe you can even say that if the industrial park is not selling, you can sell this other one. So if you have a D-REIT, a development REIT that is diverse and has all these assets, then the probability of you having a successful REIT is higher.
Caution on income rates is also critical if you decide to invest.
You've seen what is happening to some of the malls. Suddenly, some of them, there's no uptake. There are no tenants who are coming into those. So if that is part of the REIT, the income rate that is out there in the market, then it's not an attractive rate. It's not going to give you the return that you're looking to get.
MMC further plans to float a 3 billion shillings development rate in the first quarter of next year. Omulele, Business Defined.